my paper, general paper, inclusive practices. Let me congratulate my students on their success for executing the Teachers' Day program on a digital platform. Okay, and since it was the first time, you have done it very well. The students, those who all have participated in the program, they have excelled in their fields, respective fields, whatever may be the role you have played in that, whether it is going for the videos or going for all the organizing, all those things. Writing the script and all, whatever it may be. So individually, I don't want to mention the names, but it was good. It was awesome. And since this was the first time we have done it, let me tell you, if you move in the same way, if you move with the same motto, in future, you people are going to have very good opportunities. And the students, those who did not take part, let me tell you, at least try to interact with your friends so that you develop your communication skills and presentation skills. And generally, see, this is a digital classroom. You have to express your views and ideas so that I come to know who is who. Okay? Say yes or no?
Yes,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. It was good. Okay. Now, see, I did not expect actually it will turn out to be like this. I thought in the other way. And moreover, okay. But it went on well. Sometimes, see, what we expect, sometimes it turns out to be different. In my case, it happened in the same manner. I did not expect that you people will take such 2 hours duration for the program. I thought it would be hardly half an hour, not more than that. Okay, fine, 1 hour. But it went on very well. Okay. Now, after this, let me start with the general paper. The paper which I am handling for 3rd sem is inclusive practices. Okay. Now here we have 3 units. This is a general paper consisting of only 50 marks. Whether it is health and physical education or inclusive paper, we have only, you people are going to write for 50 marks. In that 50 marks, 50, in that 50 marks, you people are going to write only for 35 marks, and that 15 marks will be for the internal assessment. And here, since you people are not writing any, assessment papers, internal assessment you are not writing, so the weightage would be given for the attendance. At least for inclusive practices, the weightage will be given for the attendance. And let me tell you, out of 15 marks, students, those who are regular, those who are interactive in the class, okay, those who pay attention, only for such students, I will be giving full marks. Otherwise, I will be giving marks. I don't say that I will not be giving you the marks, but definitely the 15 marks are in our control. The respective concerned teachers will have the hold on 15 marks, and remaining 35 marks. However, see, by the time you people are going to finish your SEM 3, I think Corona will go. You may have to write the 3rd SEM exams, not like your SEM 2 exams. You will not be promoted. So definitely SEM 3 exams, according to my knowledge, you will be writing. So you will be writing 3 general papers. One is school management, the other one is inclusive practices, and the third one is health and physical education. School management is for 100 marks. It consists of 5 units. Already sir might have told you that he will be handling 3 units and the remaining 2 units will be handled by Shravanti ma'am. When it comes to the other general paper, it is inclusive practices. Now, actually, this is for 50 marks. In that 50 marks, you will be writing only for 35 marks, and the 15 marks will be internal assessment. The same thing for health and physical education. 50 marks, 35 you will be writing, and 15 for the internal assessment. And out of 35 marks, you are going to write two 10 marks answers. That is 10 twos are 20. And 3 5 marks. Okay, 3 questions for 5 marks, 2 questions for 10 marks. 10 twos are 20, 5 threes are 15. So totally 35. Choice will be there. Sometimes they do give internal choice. Follow?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. you will be writing only for 35 marks. Only for 35 marks. In that 35 marks, you will be in the first section, you will be having either 3 or 4. Most probably you will be having 3 questions, I suppose. In that you are supposed to write only 2 questions, and each question carries 10 marks. 10 twos are 20. And in the second section, you will be having 4 or 5 questions. Okay, most probably 5 you will be having. Out of 5, you are supposed to write 3 questions. Each question carries 5 marks. So 5 threes are 15. 15 plus 20, 35. And this would be the pattern even for health and physical education. Understood? I think this is the first time you are writing.
How long will be the paper, ma'am?
1.5 hours.
Okay, ma'am.
It's quite natural, 3 hours for your, 70 marks, and this would be 1.5 hours. And let me, did you write any 50 marks paper in your first sem? No, na?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay. It is just like a short movie. You will not come to know. Okay. Okay, this experience you should have on your own. I'll not. Okay. Now here it consists of your inclusive practices consists of 3 units. Okay. Now first one is, now do you want index? Did you take the syllabus paper?
No, ma'am. No,
We
ma'am.
have to download from the news website.
Shall I send you?
Actually,
Yeah.
no, ma'am. Sir sends on 5th. Sir sent SOM paper, ma'am. But remaining papers he did not send syllabus copy.
Okay, today I'll send it now. Okay, I will not give you all the index part. Now once I'll send it today. So you go through it. Students, those who are not having the textbooks also, they can refer this. So just you will have an idea what is it. Okay, today by evening I'll send you. Okay, so that tomorrow you will have I cannot send you the complete the book and all, xerox of all things, but just I'll give you the content what we have in inclusive practices. Okay, so in general, let me give you the gist of that. We have 3 units. The first unit is Introduction to Inclusive Education, and the second unit we have Policies and Frameworks Facilitating Inclusive Education, and the third one we have Supports and Collaborations for Inclusive Education. So these are the 3 units we have. So as I already told you, generally if you are perfect in 2 units, it's more than enough. Okay, it's more than enough, but still not to take the risk, because actually this is nothing but this inclusive education deals with in and around the disabled children. I think you might have come across Thakur Hari Prasad school.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So that is we have school for dumb and deaf. Okay, then we have different schools. Okay, so that doesn't come under the the inclusive education. Okay, now I don't want to confuse you with what is inclusive education. Let me start with this. What is inclusive education? Let me start with that. Okay, now do you have any doubts regarding this pattern, paper, anything?
No, ma'am.
Anyone?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Madam, hold out, ma'am. So, what about remaining 50 marks?
Remaining 50 marks. What is it, Om Prakash?
Only 50 marks for this subject, you know?
Yes.
Third sem consisting of only 200 marks overall, 3 subjects.
Yeah.
For school organization and management, remaining 50-50. We have inclusive and other subject.
health and physical education, which is handled by Swati ma'am. So this will be only for 50 marks and you will be writing totally 140 marks, totally only for 140 marks, and remaining 60 marks will be in the hands of your lecturers. In the sense, school management 30 marks, internal assessment 30 marks, and inclusive 15 marks, health and physical education 15 marks. So 6, then that is 30, this is 30, so definitely 60 marks. And you will be writing only for 140 marks. 70 marks for school management, 35 for inclusive, 35 for health and physical education. Is it clear, Om Prakash?
Okay, madam. What about record?
I think here you don't have any records for this, but I think you have one reflective reading that will be handled by me. So according to this almanac, first we have to go with inclusive practices. Then in between, I think we are going to have this reflective reading. See, we have, in case by the God's grace, if we have regular classes, it would be easy. See, for that actually I don't need, it's not a, practical in the sense, verbally I have to tell you what is it actually, what does it consist of. So even online classes will also work for it. Okay, I said that for period plans I need board and all, but for reflective reading I don't think so we need it. It is just like, how we had life skills in the same manner we are going to have the reflective reading. It is not a big issue. And I think even we have this one more record. I don't know who is going to handle that. Okay. As of now, reflective reading, sir has not given us any timing and all, because depending upon the almanac, we are supposed to shift from theory to practical. So as of now, we'll have regular theory classes. We'll see. Most probably after Dasara or Diwali, we may have this, reflective reading, practical session. Okay. Now coming to this inclusive education. See what happens, shall I start today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is the first standard class, I think. All these years I only handled the... What is it, Usha?
Nothing, ma'am, nothing. I accidentally touched it.
Okay. Okay, shall I start? Or do you have any queries regarding this? Anyone? Do you have any queries?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, class will be for 1 hour or 1.5 hour, ma'am, every day? Ma'am, 1.5 hour, it's a very lengthy class, ma'am.
This is not.
Ma'am, morning 1.5 hour and in the afternoon 1.5 hour. Totally it is 3 hours, ma'am. We have to sit just like that.
You have to sit with, you have to listen. See, I don't say that it would be for 1.5 hour.
Okay.
I'll take only for 1 hour. I know it would be tedious not only from your side, it would be tedious even from my side. Your focus will not be there. 1 hour in the sense, at least you will have, that will be in your mind only for 1 hour, 1 hour. That feeling itself that the class will run for 1.5 hours will make you lazy, lethargic. You will not be attentive in the class. So, my class would be for 1 hour. See, after 1 hour, feedback session, that I may take 5 to 10 minutes more, not more than that. I know. See, even though we are at home, but we have extra work, we have more burdens. We have to look after the kids, we have to do this work, that work. For that purpose, I don't want to take more than 1 hour. But that 1 hour, you have to be very focused. You have to be attentive. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And whatever the timing you want, I am ready. After 12. See, even before 12, it's not possible for me. Okay? Highly impossible for me. So after 12, then it would be easy. Okay? Because from next week onwards, we have Adhika Masam. So we have lots of work to do. So after 12, I will be free. I will not be able to do 2 things at a time. Okay? Now coming to this introduction to Today I'll only give you what is inclusive education. I don't want to take much of your time because first day I don't want to tell you, take much of your time. So till 12:45 or before 1 I'll wind it up today. Okay. Then tomorrow shall I start at 12 o'clock?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Oh, madam.
Okay. Now I want complete attendance. How many students have turned up today? Please see. It's a request because hardly 1 hour. At the end of the day, when we take class, if the students don't turn up now, it doesn't sound well. So we feel as if we are not up to the mark in making the students grab the attention. Okay. So hardly for 1 hour I'll be taking, and whatever the time you tell me, according to that. If it is 12 o'clock, okay for me. If it is 3 o'clock, okay for me. But I need complete attention and attendance from your side. Okay. Now, coming to this inclusive education, is it okay? And everyone has to be interact. They have to be more active and interact over here. And who is this? I don't know what is this. Chanos. Who is this?
Farzana, ma'am. Farzana.
Farzana. Who is Farzana? Seema, one more lady used to sit beside you.
That is Reshma, ma'am.
Reshma. Okay, yeah.
Farzana is a physics student, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. Okay, fine. Now I understood. I thought this lady is Farzana. And how come is she there in the class? Farzana? Then she is not responding to my question.
Farzana is there. Reshma is not there, ma'am.
I know Reshma is not there, but Farzana, she is not responding. Farzana? Farzana, I am taking attendance, Farzana. This is the problem of online classes. See. Shall I take online attendance? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
That will work. Because most of you, I don't say most of you, few students actually, I don't know. See this Farzana lady, I don't know, I don't think so she's there. Shivajyoti?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, madam. Madam. Yes, ma'am.
Farzana has come just now after completing her work, I suppose. Okay, fine, whatever it may be. Okay, now coming to this inclusive education, please pay attention. See. Okay. See. India is a democratic country. See, and every person, every individual has the right to receive help in learning to the limits of his or her capacity. Whether the capacity may be small or great. See, what happens is that India is a democratic country and according it is a fundamental right. Right to education is a fundamental right, and every child has the right to receive help in learning to the limits of his or her capacity. Okay, whether it is small or great. So they should be, since India is a democratic country and it is a fundamental right. Right to education is a fundamental right, and it is the right of every child in this country to receive education, irrespective of caste, creed, gender, whatever it may be. There shouldn't be any discrimination between poor, rich, boy, girl, urban, rural, SC, ST, OBC, handicapped. But you could see that the education, when it comes to this education field, still you could see there is a discrimination between rich and poor, okay, boy and girl, urban and rural, okay, and again SC, ST, OBC, and for handicapped children. Since, see, it is a fundamental right of every child to receive education, to attain education so that he can lead an independent and successful life. But even though it is one of the fundamental rights, but still you could see that there is a discrimination in our country between rich, poor, boy, girl, rural, urban, and SC, ST, and handicapped children. Okay, so you might have observed now the girls are being given the chance to study in schools. In olden days, they were not at all given chance, so they used to be in houses to look after the household works. But now here what happens? Now the importance is given to girl child, girl education, women empowerment, and all those things. So here the girl child is more deprived in view of education. What do you mean by deprived? Deprived is nothing but the thing which you don't get it. So generally you might have observed most of the parents still they have the same old thinking and the old mentality that boys have to be more educated than the girls, because boys are going to run the family. Only the girl's duty, or the lady's duty, or a woman's duty is to look after the family. She cannot earn. That was a feeling previously the previous generation people had regarding the girl child. And for that purpose, you might have observed in most of your families, I don't say about your parents might be educated, but in case if you happen to just cross-check your grandparents, okay, now, so their parents, so 2 generations back, so if you go just behind 2 generations, you might have observed that gents will be educated, your grandfather or your whoever it may be, the gents will be educated, whereas the ladies will not be educated, because in the present scenario, previously it so happened that the girls were deprived of education. So according to the previous generation people, education was not that important to girl child. They thought that the girls are meant to look after the household work and education is not meant for them. Okay, and there was always a discrimination between, you might have observed, in the olden days, there was a discrimination between the rich and the poor. Only the rich, they used to go to Gurukulas and all those things, and the poor, they have to look after the fields and all. Okay, and there was a discrimination between the rural and urban. There was a discrimination between the SC, ST and OBC. So all these things were present in the olden days. But now you could see that there is a drastic change when it comes to the education field, because it is not only one of the fundamental rights, but also now one more act has come, right to education. Okay, right to education for every child. So not only the girl child, but many categories in the society are not getting equal educational facilities in our country. They are among them are differently abled or more prone to be away from education due to personal, social, economic and other problems. See, you might have observed, even though there is a discrimination between boy and the girl, rich and the poor, rural, urban, but the major drawback is for differently abled. What do you mean by differently able? What do you mean by differently able?
Handicap and disabled person.
Children who can't understand.
Okay, children with disabilities. Okay, so generally what happened? See, previously not only now there was a discrimination between girl and a boy. Okay, their importance was given to the boys and everything. Okay, apart from that, the major category where the discrimination is being done is to the differently abled children. Differently abled children is nothing but children with disabilities. Okay. So for that purpose, now there is an internationally accepted formula. That is nothing but, what is the internationally accepted formula? Education for all. And they have adopted various models to create the schools for all, where children with special needs and regular needs can study together. See, you might have observed, not every school will come under the inclusive school, but you might have observed that in order to give them equal opportunities, the main motto is that giving equal opportunities to all the children. So there is an international formula which is nothing but education for all. So in order to implement this formula, they have started schools for all. According to this schools for all the students, the regular students and children with special needs. Let me tell you, children with special needs are nothing but children with disabilities, are also called as differently abled children. When I make use of these three terminologies, you have to understand that children with special needs are nothing but children with disabilities or differently abled children. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what happens, since it is an international accepted formula, education for all, now they are supposed to create some schools for all. What do you mean by schools for all? Schools for all is nothing but here along with the regular students, the children with special needs will study and they will study in the mainstream. What do you mean by mainstream? Mainstream is nothing but generally where the regular students will be doing studying in a classroom. Okay, they have the classroom atmosphere that in a regular students. Now yours is a regular stream. Okay, mainstream or a regular stream. So what do you mean by this? So what is an inclusive education? Inclusive education is nothing but the students with disabilities are made to sit along with the normal children in the mainstream classes, irrespective of their disabilities, caste, creed, gender. So inclusive is nothing but including them. Here what are we including? We are including the children with disabilities along with the normal children. Did you get my point here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me.
It's me, ma'am. Lavanya.
Yeah, tell me, Lavanya.
If disabled child sit along with the normal child, how they can able to catch the lessons? For example, if the child is deaf, so how he or she can able to listen?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
See, for that purpose, I said children with special needs, children with disabilities are differently abled children. All these three means the same. So what do you mean by inclusive education? Inclusive education is nothing but children with disabilities are made to sit along with the normal children in a regular, they will attend the classes in the regular school under the mainstream. Okay, this is the inclusive education. So here, in order to give equal opportunities to all the children, especially the handicapped children, Ushana,
Yes, ma'am.
mute your mind. Researchers in psychology and education have made great strides in developing educational provisions so that the students with the differences, okay, it would be easy for them to study, okay, along with the normal children and also learn in different ways at a varying speed. But a major task of the schools is to provide educational experiences that include and accommodate these differences in order to optimize each student's education irrespective of his social or economic status. See, what Lavanya was asking was that how is it possible? Will the child be justified when he comes and sits in the normal school atmosphere along with the regular students? Yeah, that's the point. So here, inclusive education is generally the education where children with disabilities, and let me mention this is the here the point is children with normal disabilities, not the severe. Children with normal disabilities are made to sit along with the normal children in a regular school atmosphere. So that is called as inclusive education. So here normal disabilities is nothing but in case if the child is completely handicapped, he is unable to sit or he is unable to walk on his own, then see sometimes even what happens if he has the capacity to come to the school and manage the things, then he can be a part and parcel of the regular normal regular classroom atmosphere. But if a child is completely blind, if the child is completely dumb and deaf, okay, then it so happens that for them, if we happen to make them to sit along with the normal children, then education would not be given in the proper way to them, because completely in order to give attention, in order to do justice to that particular child, here the regular students will have impact. Did you get my point? So students having severe disabilities will not be a part of the inclusive education. They will be in segregated schools. Segregated schools is nothing but, like we have Thakur Hari Prasad, and we have completely for blind people, dumb and deaf, because they cannot be part of the normal schools, and they cannot be made to sit along with the normal students in a mainstream classes. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
I was 2 years back or 3 years back, I suppose. Anyone? Tell me, Ramani.
Yeah, ma'am. These schools are driven by government or private institutions also?
See, it all depends upon. Generally it is run by government institutions. See, generally what happens, private, I don't think so it will fetch. According to my knowledge, there is no private institution. Even if it is there, only a private tutor will be there for such students. Okay, now this is only for inclusive education. When I come to the segregated, education, okay, segregated schools, then when I come for this marginalization, you yourself will come to know. Now here there is only one point you have to remember. Inclusive education is an education where, try to understand, inclusive education is an education where education is given to all children without discrimination, okay, of gender, disability into the regular school, okay. So it is a system of education that accommodates all children regardless of their physical, intellectual, social, emotional, linguistic or other conditions. You are not supposed to take any of these things into consideration. Inclusive education is an education where education is given to all children. All children means normal children and children with normal disabilities, mild disabilities. They are made to sit under one roof in the mainstream, and they will be taught as normal children. What happens is that you may get a doubt, ma'am, how is it possible that if they have the disability, how will they cope up with the normal children? So for that purpose, the education department has taken a major stride in the teaching. So the teacher, she has to look into the strategies and the techniques and the methods according to the needs of not only the normal students, but also that will have good impact on the children with mild disabilities. So they should, because every child is unique. Now forget about that. Now what did I say in the previous classes? It is the quality of the teacher. It is the quality of the teacher who changes her teaching strategies according to the needs of the students. She doesn't have to go on repeating the same strategy. If one particular strategy has not worked, then it shows that that strategy may not be suitable for all the students. Then she has to shift. She has to shift the strategy according to the needs of the students. In the same manner, the teacher who is in the school where the inclusive education is a part and parcel of the school, she has to keep in her mind the different learning styles of the students, the different teaching styles, okay, different teaching methods. She has to have an idea. She has to keep in her mind the different teaching techniques according to the needs of the society, needs of the students. She cannot follow the same technique which she is following for the normal students. Little bit she has to change her teaching technique in such a way that it would be convenient for both the normal students as well as the children with mild disabilities. And this is the inclusive education. Inclusive education is nothing but, here it is an education where the normal students will be a part, where See, once again, let me repeat this definition. Inclusive education is an education where education is given to all students irrespective of their caste, creed, okay, gender, economic status, linguistic status, whatever it may be. So we have n number of definitions for what is that inclusive education. One definition is that inclusive education is an education where the education will be given to normal children along with the children with disabilities, irrespective of their caste, creed, gender and all. So all these things are not to be considered. You have no right to reject a candidate based on their gender, based on the caste, based on the creed, based on the economic status. You cannot. You have no right, because according to the fundamental right to education is one of the fundamental rights, and every child in our country is a democratic country, and every child has the right to receive education. So no gender, no caste, no economic status can stop the child to receive education, because education is for all. This is an international formula, that education for all, and schools they have to change. If it see all schools doesn't come under the inclusive education schools, so the schools they have to change their infrastructure according to the needs of the disabled children. Not all children will be a part of this inclusive school. See, children with normal disabilities, as already I have said, that completely blind, completely dumb and deaf students and completely handicapped students, sometimes it would be difficult for them to be a part of the normal schools. So such students will be a part of segregated schools, whereas children with normal disabilities, children with like polio and all those things, children with normal disabilities will be made to sit along with the normal children and will be taught in the mainstream. So that such education is called as inclusive education. Followed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See, for that purpose, it is a democratic philosophy that all children be given equal opportunity to learn, whether they are average, bright, dull, retarded, okay, blind, deaf, crippled, emotionally disturbed or otherwise limited or deviant in their capacities to learn. Equality of opportunity denotes two things: equality of access to school education and equality of success in school. See, there are two equality of opportunity. See, I said that since this is a democratic country, India is a democratic country, equal opportunity should be given to all children, irrespective whether they are average students, bright students, dull, mentally retarded, blind, deaf, crippled. I don't say that everyone has to be included in only one classroom atmosphere, but education should be there. Education must be there for these students. What sources are you giving to them? What type of classrooms are you providing them? That is different thing. But equal opportunity should be given to all the students, irrespective whether they are dull, bright, average, blind, deaf, crippled or handicapped or whatever it may be. But education must be given, because it is a fundamental right. It is one of the fundamental rights, and it is the international formula according to which education for all. And schools have to, in case if it is an inclusive education, schools have to develop the infrastructure which suits the children with mild disabilities. Okay. Now there are only two things: equality of access to school education. So there should be an equality of access to every child should have the accessibility for the school education, and also it should be successful. These are the two things that should be there. Okay. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah, tell me.
I think you got struck. That's why.
Okay, fine. See, inclusive education is different from exclusive education. Okay. See, the general education system, acknowledges the fact that education for all types of children, including that of children with disabilities, should come under the mainstream education. What do you mean by mainstream education? Mainstream education is nothing but where normal students, regular students will be taught. That is called as mainstream education. Inclusive education is nothing but where children with disabilities will be made to sit along with the regular students and they will be taught in the mainstream. Under the mainstream is nothing but how the normal students are taught in the same manner. Even the children with disabilities will be taught in the same manner under the mainstream, under one roof, under one classroom atmosphere. Okay. Now, in special school concept, special education component is apart from the general education system, whereas in integrated school, special education is a part of general education. See, ours is an inclusive education is nothing but integrated education is different from special education. See, we have, okay, let me tell you. The way a complete blind child will be taught, okay, the way complete dumb and deaf child will be taught will be different from the way a normal child is taught. So completely disabled children cannot be made to sit with the normal children. So what happens here is that you cannot justify neither the normal students nor the handicapped children. Okay, I'm telling complete. In case if the severe disabilities are there, then they cannot be made to sit along with the normal children because we may not justify them. So generally, inclusive education will be given to such students where children with normal disabilities, mild disabilities will be there. So severe disability, it's not possible because you cannot justify them. So inclusive education goes one step further in this approach. Special education is an integral part of general education system. Okay. Therefore, from special schools concept to that of inclusive education can be treated. So what happens is that here inclusive education is an education where normal children along with children with disabilities will be made to sit under one roof and will be taught in the mainstream under one classroom atmosphere. And here what happens is that here we are going to have, it is an integrated one. What do you mean by integrated one?
Combined or included?
Yeah, included. Okay. One. Now, I'll give you a definition. Just wait. Okay. See, we have, just I would like to differentiate. In special school concept, see, in special school concept, see, special education component is apart from the general education system. In special school concept, please try to understand this. If it is a special school concept, special education component is apart from the general education system. Whereas in integrated school, special education is a part of general education. So special schools concept will be quite different. Okay. Where special education component is apart from the general. See, special school concept is a concept where it will be away from the general education system because they will be taught in a different way. Their method of teaching will be different and everything will be different. Let me tell you, special school concept is a concept which is generally meant for the students with severe disabilities. Understood? They will not be given the thing is that they will be taught in a minimum way so that at least they can be independent. They cannot be taught in the normal way along with the normal children. So for that purpose, we have two types of schools here. In special concepts, schools concept, special education component is apart from the general education system, whereas in integrated school, special education is a part of general education. So inclusive school goes one step further. In this approach, special education is an integral part of the general education system. So what happens is that inclusive education is an education. So since I'm talking about inclusive education, please, that is a different thing. Concepts and all you have to know. But what is a inclusive education? What is an inclusive school? Inclusive school is a school where special education is an integral part of the general education system. Therefore, from special school concept to that of okay. So let me tell you. Okay, in general, what is inclusive education? It is a system of education that accommodates all children regardless of their physical, intellectual, social, emotional, linguistic or other condition. See, they have to be given equal opportunity should be given to all the students, and we have to recognize and appreciate their specific abilities. The range, see what happens is that, now you may get it out. How is it possible, ma'am, to teach the normal students along with the children with disabilities? So actually here what happens, inclusive schools are nothing but the integrated schools. Integrated schools are nothing but, you have integrated syllabus. I think you would have come across this integrated syllabus. Do you have an idea regarding the integrated syllabus? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. It is like state and central syllabus will be combined and they'll be going.
Yeah. See. Okay. Yeah, same thing. What she said was absolutely correct. So, inclusive school is nothing but the integrated school. Please, I am giving you the gist, try to understand, because at the end of the day, what is inclusive education? If I ask you any one of you should be in a position to tell. See, what is inclusive schools are nothing but it is an integrated education, which is what is an integrated education? Integrated education is nothing but education given to all. What do you mean by education given to all? Here, integrated education is an education where children with normal disabilities or mild disabilities are made to sit along with the normal children and will be taught in the mainstream, in a regular school. Okay, they will be taught along with the normal students. Who will be taught with the normal students? Children with mild disabilities will be taught along with the normal students under the mainstream. So this is called as inclusive education or integrated education. Then let me tell you, when the focus is to give education to all, when the focus is to give equal opportunities to all, then you may get a doubt, ma'am, how is it possible that children with disabilities will be made to sit along with the normal children? So what happens? We have special techniques, we have special teachers, we have special ways. The children, not only we should recognize their disabilities, but also we have to change the teaching strategies. I am a normal teacher, a special teacher will also be there. A special teacher will also be there in the school, where depending upon their disabilities of the child, they will be taught according to the needs of the child by the special teacher. Did you get my point or not? Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
See what happens?
Yes, ma'am.
You may get a doubt. How is it possible that in case in normal students only, some students may not be able to cope up? Then how is it possible that the students with disabilities will be able to follow the teacher's teaching strategies? Let me tell you, the teacher will be well aware of the drawbacks of the learning difficulties of the disabled children. Okay, so she will be able to know the flaws in the flaws are nothing but the disabilities or drawbacks in the child. So maximum the teacher will change her teaching strategies according to the needs of the normal children and also according to needs of the disabled children. But let me tell you, sometimes it will not fetch good results for the disabled children. Then at that time a special teacher will be appointed who has idea to teach such special students. What do you mean by special students? What do you mean by special students? Any one of you?
Normal disabled students.
Yeah, children with disabilities.
Madam, what about special teachers means what?
Special
Teachers.
one second.
They have special educators, ma'am. Of all the-
One sec. I'll come. One sec. Yeah. Oh, someone asked me something. What is it? What are special teachers of the teacher? How you now? Yours is a normal training you have taken. You are taking now. B.Ed is meant for B.Ed is a training which is generally given to the students to teach normal students.
That means we are normal teachers. Not
You are
special.
normal teachers. You are normal teachers, and you are only eligible to teach normal students. You don't have eligibility to teach special students. Special students is nothing but again it is a different training. It is a different training which is done in order to teach the special students. Special students are nothing but sometimes he is very special. Sometimes we say, in order to sarcastic, we say he is very special. He's very special means he is little bit either very dull or he is not that active. So generally special students are the students with disabilities, differently abled, children with disabilities and disabled children. All comes under the same category. So normal teachers cannot teach such students. I can teach. So what happens is that you might ask then how is it possible that a normal teacher is teaching in the inclusive school? Let me tell you. The normal teacher, after recognizing the drawbacks or the what the child needs, she will change the teaching strategies according to the convenience of the normal children and as well as children with disabilities. But she may not be able to justify the children with disabilities. At that time, generally in every school, a special teacher will be there. So the special teacher, what will she do? She will teach these special students according to their needs, which is not possible for the normal teacher. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You may see, let me tell you, after the completion of B.Ed, you just ask, in case if at all you have any friends in Thakur Hari Prasad or any school, special schools, they will be paid more. Yesterday, I think the other day you went through this video of something Guru. I don't know exactly. I don't remember that. Teacher is nothing but the teacher should have not only passion towards the profession, but also he or she should have lots and lots of patience. And let me tell you, teaching normal students is difficult task, but teaching students with disabilities is a very big task, because there the teacher, she should have lots and lots of patience, and apart from that she should have training. She should have received training to teach such students. See, a teacher who has taken training to teach dumb and deaf will not be able to teach blind students, because generally you have we have different categories. For dumb and deaf, how the students should be taught. For blind, how they should be taught. They'll take training. In general, they'll take special training, but you have a category. Okay. So, only such teachers who have taken training, special training, to teach special students will be able to teach according to their needs, which is not possible for the normal teacher. Is it so? But still what happens? We are making them to sit along with the normal children, because in order to encourage them, motivate them, that they are not segregated from the society, they are the part and parcel of the society. If we make such students to join along with the normal children, that will boost their confidence, that will boost their thinking capacity, and they have the feeling that no, I am also being a part, I am along with the normal children. The feeling of disability, the feeling of that I have what do you mean by disabled, that one or the other thing will not be perfect. So the feeling of imperfectness among such students will be vanished. So for that purpose, government is trying its best to give facilities to the schools where normal children, not only the normal children will be taught, but also the children with special needs will be a part of such schools. So what happens? It is just to encourage such students. Children with mild disabilities are made to sit along with the normal children, so that will boost the confidence, and they will not think about their disability. Manalo edo in case, let me tell you, if we have one drawback, then what happens? What will happen if we have one drawback? Let me tell you. Anyone, Baba?
We'll be depressed or we cannot move forward.
We will be in depression, ma'am. Like we
also will lose confidence.
Yeah, let me tell you that. I was telling the other day to only after this example I'll wind up the session. See, one of my students was there. He belongs to SC exactly. I don't know which category he belongs to. That is not material for me. So he was completely, both his legs were polio attacked. And his methodology was math and English. And he had a very good voice. Voice in the sense, not, he was very good, authoritative voice. Okay. It was not that soft. So, do you know that now the same classroom where you are sitting, he was supposed to sit. He used to come. And literally, once if he used to come again, only at 3:45 he used to come down. Okay. In between he used to not come back. Recently, 3 or 4 years back. So let me tell you, he was not given this block teaching training. Do you know what I mean of block teaching training? Your macro. You go to schools and you teach over there. He was not given since he was completely disabled. So he was disabled. He was part and parcel of school, college education. He was there. He used to give proper response. He was very good at micro teaching and all. He was good. But since looking at his disability, we had not given them. Then finally he forced that he was more interested. He was allotted. When he was allotted one school, I will not mention the school. When he was allotted the school fellows, looking at his disability, they did not give him classes. When he did not give him the classes, actually what did he do? Do you know that? He arranged for a press meeting and actually he pinpointed the headmaster for not giving the classes. Immediately, next day, there was government will definitely punish if you discourage such students. Did you get my point? Then after that he scored well. He came for micro teaching and all. He came for block teaching. He finished his B.Ed. Then after that he did his MSc. And let me tell you, he was about to get, he is doing PhD in Usmania. And before actually, what happened was that, now he tried his best to get a PhD seat. So looking at his disability, see, generally what happens is that PhD you have limited seats, it seems. Okay, you have limited seats. It seems that you have limited seats. And this fellow was not given chance, even though he was quite eligible. So looking at his disability, they thought that okay, fine, no problem. The other student was given, the other person was given the chance. Okay, he was given a seat. Now let me tell you, this fellow, what did he do, Suman? What did he do? He actually, he approached everyone. But somehow he came to know that that particular student and this fellow, they are good in almost, they were equal, cadre-wise, this-wise. Then on what basis did they give him, and what is the criteria that he was not given the chance to get a seat in PhD? And let me tell you, the way he has approached the higher officials, and you could see that students' union, he went to the higher authorities, and he he tried his best, and let me tell you, even the government will encourage such students. If something happens to the normal children, if he is not given a PhD seat, okay, that fellow is depressed. But same thing, if something happens to these children with disabilities and all these things, and he is SC or ST, exactly like I don't have an idea. See, they have a group. So this disability group, this group, that group, they have come, they have fought, and one more seat was, so already that particular student, the other student was given a seat. So that seat cannot be taken away. Even though there was a rule that only 20 students should be there in a particular group, particular class, okay, for PhD we should have only 20 students. During that year, one more seat was created for this fellow. So here two things. What I would like to mention is that government will give 100% support to such people. Why will the government give support to such students? Because the government wants that no child should have a feeling that they are being segregated from the society. They have equal opportunities. They'll have equal weightage. Equal weightage will be given to them. The feeling of isolation, the feeling of segregated, the feeling of being taken away from the society should not be felt by such students or by such people. For that purpose, you might have observed generally if someone is blind, someone is handicapped, they will be given more opportunities compared to the normal children, because the feeling of disability should be taken away from such people, and that is inclusive education. So in the last, let me tell you what is inclusive education. Inclusive education is an education where education is given to all children. All children means children with mild disabilities along with the normal children, irrespective of caste, creed, gender, okay, linguistic, then economical, whatever. We are not supposed to consider all these things, okay. Education should be given to all. Inclusive education is an education which is, education is given to all students irrespective of their, all students in the sense within the bracket you are supposed to mention normal children along with children with disabilities, irrespective of the caste, creed, okay, gender, economic status, social status, linguistic, all these things you are not supposed to consider. Education should be given to all. So equal opportunity should be given to all students. So such is called as inclusive education or integrated education. Integrated education is an education normal children along with the normal along with children with disabilities will be taught under the mainstream. I told you how that children with disabilities will be taught, how is it possible. A special teacher will be there. She is going to look after the needs of the disabled children. So only mild disabled children will be made to sit along with the normal children. Severe, it's not possible. They will be given chance in the segregated schools. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yes, ma'am. Understood what is inclusive education?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So education for all. Education should be given to all. So normal children along with children with disabilities, if they are made to sit under one roof, will be taught in the same by a regular teacher in the mainstream. Then such education is called as inclusive education. You have however you want, you can write the definition. See, whatever the definition is. Here in general, inclusive education is nothing but it is an integrated education where normal children will be made to sit along with the children with disabilities and will be taught in the same manner by the teacher. Okay, under the mainstream she will be taught by a teacher. So then afterwards now you have all these doubts. How the child will be given the information in case if he doesn't follow, a special teacher will be there. All these things, what are the steps that are taken by the government in order to give equal weightage, give good education? Means special teacher will be appointed, she will come, she will visit, and she is going to teach according to the needs of the disabled children. So all those things will be there. But inclusive education is the education where normal children and children with disabilities will be taught under mainstream. What do you mean by mainstream? Yours comes under the mainstream. Okay. And one more student was there. Do you know that the 3-4 years back, he was completely blind. And let me tell you, as a teacher in future also you are going to see, teaching is quite easy, but when it comes into practice, it is a very difficult thing. This fellow was Ailaya. That fellow's name was Ailaya. He was completely blind. And let me tell you, it's not that easy. Inclusive, naam ke vaste they say inclusive, but the teachers will not pay attention to the such students. So justice will not be given to such students, will not be done to such students. So it is better if they have mild disabilities, let them join in the integrated. Let them have integrated education. But if complete disability is there, better they should join in the segregated schools where, along with such children, few more children will be there, so that the teacher can at least do to some extent justice. Understood my point?
Yes, ma'am.
If someone comes to our college and if the student is completely blind, Sundar sir cannot say no. Do you know that?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because it is for everyone. Education is for everyone. They have the right to get educated, but like the faculty may be having some problem during the education.
Faculty will not have any problem. Just
The child will not get proper attention.
that's the thing. At the end of the day,
That is it. Will not get full support from everyone.
How is it possible? How is it possible to give full support if I cannot see? The other day when I had gone for the inspection, a blind, in order to see, I will not justify few things. A blind man was teaching Hindi. And let me tell you, when I went there for the inspection, that fellow, the Hindi, he was writing something. He asked one of the students to write something on the board, and the students were playing with papers and all. Do you think that in order to justify one student, in order to encourage one man, you are putting stake of almost 50 students in the class? Government schools, how many students will be there? More than 50. And what will they learn? What the students will learn during that academic year? Hindi language? They are not going to learn anything. But in order to give equal opportunities, you cannot see. You have to give opportunities to such students, such candidates. You have to encourage them, but not at the sake of the students' future, Baba. See, such things I will not encourage. My personal view. See, that blind man, what is he teaching? To whichever class he goes, the class will have the same atmosphere. He will not be able to pay attention. He will be sitting in the classroom. He will have one of the other students to write something on the board. But to what extent? To what extent? I don't think so. But the government's motto is to encourage all the students, especially children with disabilities. And let me tell you, no college will deny admission to such students if they have any disabilities. In case if they deny admission, the college license will go. Because this is Right to Education Act. According to Right to Education Act, equal opportunity should be given to all the students. Shall I wind up the session? Because it's already lunch time for you. Tomorrow I'll start at 12 o'clock. Yeah, Nitish.
Yes, ma'am. Sunanda, ma'am. We have a few announcements also. Like on Teachers Day, at last we have concluded 3 projects. Like first project is collaborative learning. Second one is YouTube channel. Third one is website. We are going to do this collaboratively. And collaborative learning will be starting from Sunday onwards, evening 6 p.m. And apart from that, I have messaged in the group like regarding the Bhagavad Gita. So it will be around 36 days for which cost 200 rupees, and it will be 4 times a day. So 4 times a day मतलब एक टाइम को आप रजिस्टर कर सकते हो. Now you can fill the form and you will get the email about that, and per day you will be it will be charging very less amount, that is 6 rupees only. So what I wanted to say is, what will be the benefits out of it? Like you will be listening, you will be improving your listening skills, writing skills, taking note making, you say, no, and then you will improve your memory, and you will improve your ethics as well. That will be the advantage for you, and you will improve the problem solving skills of your life also. So that is one of the main thing. And भगवद गीता सुनने के लिए एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है कि 4 पॉइंट्स है. कि फर्स्ट पॉइंट है कि आपको फेथ रहना है, you need to have faith, and second point, you should not have असूया. असूया इज इन द सेंस अभी कोई अच्छे के बारे में बोल रहा है तो उसके अंदर कमी ढूंढना, उसको असूया बोलते हैं. सो असूया एंड जेलस इज डिफरेंट अगेन. जेलस किसको बोलते हैं कि कोई अच्छा हो रहा है तो हम जेलिस होते हैं. तो असूया इज़ व्हेन आई एम अप्रिशिएटिंग एनीवन, मैं उसकी बुराई करता हूँ. सो दैट इज़ असूया. दिस असूया यू शुड नॉट हैव. द थर्ड वन इज़ you should dedicate towards this knowledge. Dedicate yourself to it, towards this knowledge. And fourth one is you need to have help someone fruitlessly. मतलब सर्विस में इंडल्ज हो तो आपको जल्दी ये ज्ञान आता है, मिल जाता है. एंड इफ़ यू आर हार्ड वर्किंग पर्सन, लाइक इफ़ यू डू तपस्या लाइक दैट, मतलब तपस्या बहुत बड़ा वर्ड हो गया. If you do if you are working hard, then it will come towards you. That knowledge will come towards you. That is the eligibility criteria. I'll repeat, eligibility criteria for the Bhagavad Gita is: first one, you need to have faith. You should not have asuya. You should have you should not you should dedicate towards the knowledge. And if you are indulged in any of the seva, you will get the knowledge. That is announcement. That are few announcements, and you can encourage the students, ma'am, to register for the Bhagavad Gita session, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, give them some time. Give them some time, 2-3 days. Then afterwards, I'll take the review on Wednesday. So think about it. What Nitish has said is definitely it's beneficial. So you have to. So what he said was that in order to attain something, what is that, knowledge? Okay. So definitely see. Whatever you learn, at the end of the day, you're going to have one or the other thing you're going to achieve. So, think about it, give your views, then again we'll review regarding this, what Nitish has said on Wednesday. So, Wednesday would be the last day to give your views. Then, Wednesday, give time till Wednesday, man. Today is Monday. कल Tuesday है.
Okay, ma'am.
Wednesday हम लोग इसके बारे में बात करके then we'll decide. Okay?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. Then will you meet tomorrow at 12 o'clock? Is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, madam.
Okay, understood everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Not this inclusive education.
Yes,
Yeah.
Alternate days, no, madam.
Hey, no, man. Continuous.
every day 2 sessions, ma'am.
Hey.
Every day 2 sessions. First 3 days ma'am will be handling. Other 3 days Swati ma'am will be handling. And first 10 to 11:30 sir will be taking daily up to Saturday.
So see, let me tell you. Actually, you start by 10. The same thing what you have proposed, sir. 1.5 hours would be very tedious. See, not only from your point of view, even it would be tedious from our point of view. See. At 12 o'clock, I'll start. No, actually today morning I wanted to give a call to Principal Sir saying that, sir, you give at 10 to 11, then I'll start by 11:30. Since today is the first day, I did not want to go with the change in the schedule. So, this week let it be. From next week onwards, I'll ask sir to take only for 1 hour, 10 to 11. Then I'll give half an hour gap. Within that, you can do your cooking part, this, that. Then 11:30 to 12:30. Be good. Isn't it?
Ma'am, sir
Yes,
told
madam.
today like he'll take for 1.5 hours.
Sirisha, what is this?
Ma'am, sir told in the morning session.
Yes, ma'am. Sarah informed that they will be taking for
He'll be taking for 1.5 hours daily.
Okay, fine. Let me see, Baba. But I will not get more than one.
Sufficient for star, ma'am. That is wrong.
What is it, Prakash?
1 hour is maybe not sufficient for star.
Yeah, see. Yeah, might be the portion anta lede, but still I don't know. Might be the thing is that he wants to wind up as early as possible. But anyways, I will not take 1.5 hours because it is inclusive, Baba. See, you will get vexed. So you will afterwards, you will say, you will forget my name and you will say inclusive, ma'am. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. You tell me English, ma'am, or life skills, ma'am, but you don't tell me inclusive, ma'am. Otherwise, I have to go for this Thakur Hari Prasad. Okay, fine.
Let's call you Sunanda ma'am or Lina ma'am.
Yeah, better, Baba. You because I have this bad experience, ma'am. Inclusive, ma'am.